Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Is that correct?
Dr. Mihi, Anglican, please. I didn't ask you to interrupt.
Alrighty, I'm back. I'm sorry. Half an hour is not very long, guys. I did the math. All right, where are we? Yes. There we go. Oh. Well, would you look at that? Ayden, congratulations. It's been a while. It has been a while. Man, I cannot get my headphones dialed in. It's been a while, but there we go. That's a little down, a little loud. It's been a while. Ayden, you're back. You're back first. It's been a long while since you've been first in chat. Ayden, not sure if you remember, but first in chat is actually not a good thing. I mean, it's good for us, but it's not a good thing for you. So, sorry to say that we are going to be adding to your already lengthy criminal record and going to just tack on one more internet ownership sentence onto what is already a fairly interesting and lengthy read. So we're going to go ahead and grant you internet ownership. It's going to be great. Oh my goodness, Ashley, Dr. Joe is going live tonight on Mediation. That is amazing. I cannot wait to hear how that's going. Guess what just happened during lunch? During lunch. We passed the 4.5 million. We just barely passed that, like in the last hour or so. Yeah. Anyway, Ayden, maintain the internet for the rest of us. We'll all be happy. This is a big day. There's a lot of people who are depending on the internet working, especially around, 11:59 tonight as they're on TurboTax, frantically typing as fast as they can, trying to file their taxes. Don't let that be you. Okay? Let me just say that now. Start at 10 o'clock. It's going to take 2 hours. Don't start at 11:50. You're not going to get done in time. I don't say start now. I mean, you've got time. You don't have to rush it. Okay? As long as it gets done by midnight, you should be good. So I would not make any of you procrastinators feel like for any reason you're late, because you've got the whole day. It doesn't have to be in by first thing this morning. So Amy says, I already filed mine, and I spent our $24 return. I just checked. All the money has been deducted. When I say all the money, they mean all the money has been deducted for our taxes. Thank goodness for kids. Having 5 kids that I can still claim on my taxes saved me 5 digits. But they still got me for quite a chunk when you add in both federal and state. So, and now apparently I have to do it every quarter. So that's great. Yeah. So now I have four April 15th a year. Because apparently I was supposed to pay as I earn. When you're like self-employed, I guess they want you to pay regularly in case you lose your job and you don't have the money at the end. I don't know why. The IRS thinks that for some reason, when you're working for yourself, okay, and you don't have somebody else doing all your payroll for you, when you're doing it yourself, you just have to send them money more frequently. Not more money, just send them money more frequently. And yeah, so quarterly taxes, here I come. That's actually accountant. I get to pay my accountant 4 times a year instead of just one. That's what it really boils down to. Double Social Security. Guess what, Pamela? We figured this one out. Sole proprietorship taxed as an S corp, LLC, right? It's the way to go. We've structured our business just properly, so it helps. Let's see. Dog Lover says, Hunter wasn't in court today for the mediation. Sanction, maybe? Joe said he wasn't there. Yeah, I hear he's not there, which is interesting, which is a bit of a bummer because I was hoping he would have seen this this counter, which would have been nice. But maybe he could watch it from home. Put it up, maybe put it up on the big screen. Somebody send him a link. That would be great. Internet's been wiggly all day. Jiggle the cable, see if that helps, Michelle. If that doesn't, call Ivan. He can help you out. All right, we have only an hour and a half left of trial to watch this afternoon as we're catching up on the Arizona v. Kelly trial. In the as far as let's see, Chad Daybell's case, they're in a break right now. I think they're in lunch. Let's see, what else do we have going on? No, that's just that. I think that's it. We did the Hannah Gutierrez sentencing. She got the book thrown at her. No surprise there. We were expecting that from the get-go. Office router. My office is routed to the burner phone. Thank you. Thank you for that. Probably not needed to be there. Jay Hatch has appellate lawyers on the case now. Mathis, Mr. Shapiro's there. And I don't know about Correll's. She might be there. I'll have to hear. I don't know. I haven't seen who watched them go in and go out, and who knows who showed up and who didn't. But maybe Dr. Joe will have some details on that as we progress. We can watch Dr. Joe after the stream. I'd love to. Has he already got his placeholder up? Because I could reroute to him once we're done. But that means we just have to get court going right now. Let's do a quick check here. Let's do a redirect. See if Dr. Joe has his placeholder. Dr. Joe coming up, mediation day. Boom, there he is. We'll reroute to him. We've already got the portal built. We're ready to go, which means, Peter LYK is doing a video tonight about Arizona judge violating a criminal defendant's rights and then walking out. I wonder who that judge is. Susie, I cannot wait to hear that. I cannot wait. If he needs to use my video, it's welcome to, but it is cropped down a little bit. It doesn't have everything in there, but it has the gist. It has the juicy bits. He's welcome to use that though. Is that Dr. Joe also Dr. Good Hair? It is the very same one, Dr. Joe Corcoran. They had 5 lawyers at the trial and added 2 new ones. Yes, they had 2 from headquarters that came down right at the very end. The appellate lawyer is still there at the mediation, though, I think. He's there. Okay. Anyway, we need happy 11 months. I feel like I had a milestone just a couple days ago, but maybe time just flies when you're having a good time. Thanks, RAs. As always, Allie B. from Tennessee, welcome. Welcome. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you very much. 11 months. You're about to trade in that orange courthouse. And Ivan knows that the orange courthouse sticks around for quite a while. And then pink is next. But I think after pink, you get purple. I think that's where it is. And purple's like the end. I think that's like the grand finale. I don't know. I'll have to double check. Fun and funky. Thank you for the super chat. Wasn't Hunter lead lawyer? He was. Pickles and Zoe the cat. I'm not sure if they removed him. They just might say, look, you've done your part. Stay out of this one. Okay. But honestly, he was like the driving force, and he is a force to be reckoned with. It probably is something that no one else would really question if he laid down the line in mediation, said, we're not going here. We're not doing it, and say, we're not going to pay. Everyone else would toe the line when he says that. Let's see. That being said, let's get my. Is it Raid Purple? Ooh. Let's get court going. Let's do that because I don't want to cut into Dr. Joe Corcoran's time tonight. Okay, ready? Let's see if this
I'm
works.
going to accede to the jury's, first on the Monday issue, I'm going to accede to the jury's request.
Accede?
Feelings about Monday. I think it's a very reasonable position. I think they're looking at it and thinking there's a reasonable likelihood we're not going to finish next week. Possibility, and that being the case, they'd rather just take Monday off have a 4-day week and come back on the following Tuesday. And given the fact that the trial is going to exceed what I represented the amount of time it would take to be, and given the fact that I also represented to them that we wouldn't have court on Mondays when we were selecting them, we won't have court on Monday, and we'll start back up on Tuesday. Now, I'm going to sustain the objection to the playing of this additional part of the clip to Mrs. Kelly's testimony. Mrs. Kelly, this witness,
we heard this
testified,
briefly.
as I said,
we listened to the first 3 minutes already this morning
on a direct examination, which was largely consumed with questions directed at her to impeach her testimony. Frankly, it was the more it went on, the less it was clear to the court what the substantive testimony was that was trying to be impeached and what was impeachment. It was 5.5 hours of impeachment. The other couple of lines of testimony that's being proffered in this transcript and this recording is cumulative and redundant and of marginal probative value. The court's going to sustain the objection. All right, let's bring the jury in, and we'll put the witness back on the stand.
That's awesome. So he tells him, look, you wasted 5.5 hours of the court's time, and we couldn't even tell what you were doing there. Like, nobody knows what you were trying to accomplish. We're not going to let you do it again. You're not bringing Miss Kelly back on the stand. You're not going to play the video. You got your chance, 5.5 hours. Wasn't effective then. Anyway, either way. Judge is drinking his, I don't know, something with Pedialyte in it, I think. Get ready for spice. We have the spice meter ready. Just to remind people, we're at spice level 1. We can turn up to 2, 3, 4, and then when we really get hot, it's like this. But then the hottest is actually liquid fire. Like liquid fires is our hottest. So there's our spice meter. Keep an eye on that. If you just pop in and wonder what's going on, if it's spice level 1, you probably don't need an update on what just happened. But if the spice level is a little higher, you might want to go back and replay and just watch for that spicy meter. I was late because I was showing Mrs. R.A. the bathroom and the progress I've made in the floor and everything. And she was impressed.
Please be seated. The record will show the presence of all the jurors, counsel, and the defendant. Considering I've talked to the lawyers about the Monday situation. I think I've listened carefully to what you said. I think you have a very reasonable position. I'm going to respect it. We're not going to have court on Monday. Number one, it looks like the trial might go longer than I had represented to you that it would go. Not real happy about having done that and being in that position. And I also represented to you, court would be Tuesday through Friday. So to add another condition coming in on Monday after I've already blown through the first deadline likely, then I'm going to respect that. Also, I think you've sized the situation up pretty well. As I told you this morning, everything's unpredictable. We don't know exactly how long things are going to take, but I think there's a reasonable likelihood that we could go into the following week, which is the way you kind of looked at it and sized it up, and it makes sense. So we will not have court on Monday. We're going to finish today about 3 o'clock, depending upon where we are with this witness, and then we'll adjourn until Tuesday of next week at 8:30. Okay?
Okay, so you heard
Good.
prosecutor
Well, thank you
sniff
for your input. I think that was
during the
helpful.
judge's
I'm glad I asked
soliloquy
you.
there.
Okay, we have the witness back on the stand, still under oath. You can go ahead, Mr. Jetty.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to clear up a couple things, Detective Ianza, because I think I made a mistake before the break. And we'll talk about
did his own
two
slurp
exhibits,
sounds. That was not me.
Exhibit 102 and 135.1.
So no court's being held today in Arizona, which means tomorrow we won't have this trial to watch, at least not first thing in the morning. Possibly in the afternoon we might. But he says we might go 2 weeks over. The jury's like, yeah, I see the pace. You say we're going to be done on Thursday. It's probably going to go into the next week as well. The judge is like, yeah, you're right. It might. So, Gordon, let's add up all the extra long breaks we've taken. See how many days we could save. Judge got an attitude adjustment. I'm guessing he got a phone call from a friend saying, hey, you might want to...
102 has been admitted and 135.1? Yes. Go ahead and open those both up, Detective.
Doesn't matter which one?
Start with the box. We can start with Government Exhibit 102.
This is the close. We are on high speed, right?
All right, you recognize that, right? You can take it out. It's been admitted. Is that the magazine with live rounds in it?
Yes, it is.
We're up to 1.25.
Where was that magazine found?
This was inside the AK. It was actually locked and loaded.
So Government Exhibit 102 is the magazine that goes with Government Exhibit 101.
That's correct.
101, 102 go together.
That's correct.
The shell casing, you can put that in the box. The shell casings found, I can bring out the exhibit, but 101, the gun box, remember the gun box?
Yes.
And there's a small envelope, Government Exhibit 101.1.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
Yes.
Where are those shell casings inside that box?
These right here?
No. The 101, the big box with the gun, and there's a small envelope inside there.
All those are spent casings
From who?
from this item. That's what you're asking?
I'm asking spent casings, is this from Rick Wyant's?
Yes, that's what Rick Wines, the expert.
So the spent shell casings in the box with the rifle are expert spent shell casings that they use to test the weapon.
That's correct.
102 is ammo that was actually with the weapon when recovered on the search warrant.
That's correct.
And go ahead, 135.1. Should just be a single empty magazine.
Since you want to tell everybody,
That was testimony from
why don't you just
DPS forensic scientist Brudenell that he took ammunition from that magazine and test fired it?
That's correct.
All right. And then finally, Government Exhibit 103 to 110 are the spent shell casings found on scene.
That's correct.
I just want to make sure we get all these spent shell casings and ammunition. And all these things are found from the search warrants.
That's correct.
And all of them are the same type of ammunition.
That's correct.
I'm going to retrieve those.
It's not worth objecting to. I mean, it's physical evidence. They're going to get it in, but he has to, the fact that he has to lead the lead investigator to telling you
And
what's
there may
in
have
the
been some
box. That's pretty
confusion.
bad.
Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. About the fanny pack. When I asked you about any damage, I was referring to, is there any gunshot damage to the fanny pack?
No, there's no gunshot to the fanny pack.
No gunshot damage.
No gunshot damage.
And when you did the search warrant 008, this is the second search warrant, and you went to the barn to search the barn?
That's correct.
What else did you search out there?
Myself and now Sergeant Bunting, we actually walked southwest of the property, approximately, I'm going to say a quarter of a mile to almost a half a mile just south, just walking, searching.
What else
Did
did
you
you
find
search?
anything?
We walked
No,
around.
sir.
And one of the things I was asking about, did you find, remember I was going through a list of things you didn't find?
Yes,
One of
sir.
the things I didn't ask you, did you find any backpacks?
We didn't find any backpacks.
Find any rifles?
And when you were on scene and did the search warrant, are there any pine trees in the area?
Yes, there is.
And just so I want to make sure we're crystal clear, the picture from KK, Defense Exhibit KK, the one with the sun in it, I can show it to you.
No, I remember.
Is that a photograph that you took?
That's not my photograph. I do not recognize that photograph.
And you took all the photographs from the search warrants.
That's correct.
And Sergeant Flores took photographs of what?
He took photographs, I believe, I wasn't there, but I believe he's during the cutting of the branch.
And you also take photographs of the victim?
That's correct.
All right. He branch and victim, and you had all the other photographs.
That's correct.
And we'll have him to co-counsel. Let me get teed up here.
calls
Give me
out.
a few moments, John, for the interview.
I don't know what happened to
I don't know
co-counsel.
what, She's coming back in, Your Honor. Just 1 second.
My assistant
ready?
just walked out.
We're going to play state exit. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're talking about the transcripts of the defense interview. All right. We're ready to play.
All right, and this is exhibit. Can you hear you?
We have a transcript, Judge.
Oh,
I'm sorry. We have a transcript, but apparently it's not here.
Here. All right, this is an interview with Mr. Kelly.
That's
Sounds
correct.
like you don't
Exhibit
have a
57.
transcript.
All right, very well. How's the audio on this?
And it's a video and audio. It should be decent.
Decent audio?
I say that now, but
I just have some recollection that, but I could be wrong. All right, we'll see it. We'll try it. Again, I have my own speaker up here, so what you're hearing, what I hear is different volumes. So if you have a problem hearing this, raise your hand, let me know so we can make some adjustments. All right? Any objection from the defense? Over there? Knock, knock. Anybody there?
I apologize.
That's right. Any objection?
What?
Playing this?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Just check.
Knock,
Go
knock.
ahead.
Anybody there?
Are you a car deal then? Are you a car deal then? All right, how would you like cars? Okay. Even big? Nice. Okay. Now, what is your highest level of education? Graduate school. Graduate? What's your degree in? Pre-med and undergraduate, pre-med and graduate. Okay. Where'd you go to school at? Wake Forest University, University of North Carolina, NC State, Appalachian State. Okay. How long have you been retired? I've been in I was born on the farm, and so I worked for, the only time I worked, other than for my own self, I worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for 10 years. All right. And then after that, I went into business for myself. Okay. Rancher. Okay. Obviously, your main language is English, correct? Yeah. Do you understand any Spanish, knowing where you live? Mi español es muy malo, but está bien. Okay. Can you read and write it? No. No? I can read it, but I can't. Can you understand the Spanish language? Sometimes. If you know, if you, I don't know if you're rude, but if you call me.
This was recorded inside a dumpster. Sounds awful.
So right now, your preferred language is English. Yeah. Okay. All right. Have you consumed any medications and/or substances that's going to inhibit what we're going to talk about? Inhibit, like you're not going to understand. I take my high blood pressure medicine. And I take it in the morning. And are you good right now? That's my wife. No, I understand what you're saying. So I'm cognizant. I know what you're asking me, okay. And I'm not confused to the point that I'm upset to the point you'd be if you found what I found. Okay, just hold on. Where do you live, sir? Give me your physical 100 block across the road. How long have you lived there? I bought that ranch in 2002, and we had a ranch there and had a ranch in Canela. So you can say I've lived there in the farm. We lived in the farm from 2002 to 2008, and I built a house where I live now. Okay, who lives with you? My wife. What's your wife's name? Wanda C. Kelly. Just your wife? Just me and my wife, and a cat and 2 dogs. How long have you lived there? Since when? I built the house in 2008, and we moved in 2009. But I've owned that ranch since 2002. Okay. I built a barn in 2003. And now you said you retired, you take care of a ranch? I'm not retired. I draw Social Security, but the ranch is never retired. Okay, that's right. That's your main income right now. Aside from your Social Security, you maintain your ranch? Yes. And it's your ranch? It's my ranch, only 100% mine and my wife. And cattle? Yes. Okay. That's what you do then? Cattle and horses. Okay. So, you know why you're here? The other guy brought me in that Chevy, because I don't like riding Chevy. But do you know why they brought you down here? I assume that yeah, I know why they brought me down here, because I found a body on my ranch. Well, what were you going to do? So right now, I'm going to read your rights. Yeah, I know you're just coming to the related. So it's 8:35, so it's 20:35, okay? Right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to the lawyer to have him present with you while being questioned, you guilty liar. If you cannot afford the lawyer, one will be appointed to you to represent you before any question if you wish. You may cease talking at any time. Do you understand each of these rights I've read to you? Yes, sir. Now having understanding these rights and knowing your rights, do you wish to talk to us? It's a yes or a no. Can I ask something? Jose Lerma was my attorney. Okay. And he's retired now, lives in Tucson. Okay. So I don't have an attorney. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you understand each right I read to you? Yeah. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have a lawyer present. You can talk. You with me, would you have a lawyer present? I can't give you any legal information, sir. So my question to you is, now knowing you understand your rights, do you understand your rights? Yes, I understand. Every single right I read to you, do you understand? Yes, I understand your rights. Being read rights and you understand your rights, do you wish to talk to us? If I talk to you, can I refuse to answer a question? Yes or no, sir? Simple as that. I want to cooperate with you. You wish to talk to us? Yes. Okay. Not that I'm stupid, but I'm saying, because I want this thing solved. Okay. All right. All right, Vince. Tell me everything you did today from the time you woke up to the time you came here and me talking to you. I woke up, I ate breakfast. I went out and let my horse out into the main pasture, checked on my water, my cattle, checked on the dogs, fed the dogs, fed the horse. Came back in and ate lunch. When I was eating lunch, and this is the heart of the matter, and I'm being open about it, and I want to make sure you understand I'm being open. I was eating lunch, and while I was eating lunch, you only been in my house, but I have a little island there, and you can see out the window. You can see out the window. I heard a shot. Close. And I looked up and I saw my horse running across the pasture in front of me about 100, 150 yards. And I saw men in full, it was kind of like, this has happened 3 other times. This was investigated by your department back in the spring. If you live out there on the border, you see people coming up through there all the time. So I saw guys running across in full. Normally they have full green top and bottom with backpacks on. This is unusual because these guys had tan shirts and pants with full brown, big, solid backpacks. Okay, I saw them and I heard the shots when I came out there, and I went out there and I saw them running down and into, into an arroyo. I immediately took my cell phone out. I called Jeremy Marcel, who was a ranch liaison for Border Patrol. I told him what I saw. And he said, we'll send somebody out there as quick as we can. They said, did you hear a shot fired? And I said, yes, I heard one shot fired. And they said, okay, we're going to send the Sheriff's Department because the shot was fired. And we're going to send the Border Patrol because we saw people you assumed were drug carriers. Because I see them out there all the time. And then so I said, just, they'll be out there if you get out, be outside where you can see you, or wherever. And so they came, Border Patrol came first, then y'all guys had 2 or 3 units come out, I think there were 5 officers, a man and 2 men and 2 ladies, and then there was another 3, I think 3 people.
There are separate clips for this.
People. 3 sheriff. I didn't see the sheriff. Are all of them that come out there would be sheriff? Yeah. Okay. And then I just stood there while they completely surrounded that area, walked all through it. It's 170 acres, land. They stayed out there and walked through it, right where I saw the guys running in the wash and all that stuff. They walked and examined it, and Officer Lopez. Raphael Lopez. He was one of the officers. He didn't walk where, there's other officers that walked where the body was. And they didn't see anything. And there was 3 or 4 of them that walked there. I didn't walk there. I didn't go there at all. But they walked there and they didn't see anything. And then we walked all over the ranch, and they walked down the Border Patrol and sheriff's people were, working together, walking all over the whole ranch. They didn't see anybody. I didn't see anybody. The only people I saw were the ones running across and ran down with my horse. Okay, now, all that was done over a 2 or 3 hour period of time. When the officers were out there and looking over. They said, okay, we looked, they're not here. They're gone because it was 30 minutes after I called for anybody to get there. I understand that. You can't teleport. So they had plenty of time to run down the wash, cross the fence, where they cut all the fences this week, last week. And I reported fence cutting 10 places to the Border Patrol. They still cut. And I assume they ran down the wash, went through the same place, the fences were cut, and then went over into Wednesday. That's my guess. I'm just saying that again. Okay, so they said, but the place is clean. There's nothing, nobody's out here, no illegals, no drug runners, nobody's out here. As far as they can say. And I said, okay, so I went back in, and my wife and I were getting ready to eat supper. And so it was about 5 o'clock. I went out to put the horse up. I want to check him over real good, too. Because I didn't know if that one shot was fired, whether they might have shot my horse. I checked him over real good, put him up. No, I better back up. When I went out to get him, he was out in the pasture. When I went out to get the horse, then I walked around down the little road where the horse comes. He follows me down. When I'm following the horse in to put the horse up, then I'm in the road and my dogs are with me. Got 2 Labrador Retrievers, dogs, they're shut up in my garage right now. 2 dogs, and here's the trail. I'm walking down the trail, 10 yards off the trail. The dogs ran over it and began investigating something. And I trained 1,000 rats. I knew that they had seen something, spotted something, smelled something. I walked over there. I saw the body. It was lying face down. I didn't do anything to it, but I knew. I said, this is bad. I could tell the individual. I had medical training. I could tell the individual wasn't breathing. And by the look, it was laying face out, flat, face down, and his face was in the dirt. And I wanted to make sure that he wasn't alive, because I would immediately call an ambulance. But I watched. I maybe stood there for 3 minutes to make sure he wasn't breathing. I didn't see any blood. I didn't see anything. I just saw the body. I backed up the way I came to him, because I knew. I said, okay, I've got a body here. This is going to be an investigation. They're going to need the evidence not be contaminated. So I backed up, walked right back to the house the way I came, immediately called Jerry Morissette, himself, the Border Patrol liaison, and I told him I need Border Patrol and the Sheriff's Department out here. I didn't tell him why. I just said that there's a body out here. I didn't say human or anything. I said there's a body out here. And that's immediately he called you guys and the Border Patrol and the Border Patrol. He called the Border Patrol his main office. They called the Sheriff's Department. Because that's the way he said it was. Then the lady called me, the Sheriff's Department called me back and said, we're sending officers out there. They should be out there immediately. They were out there while I was talking to her on the phone. And from that was Sergeant Lopez. No. Officer Lopez. Raphael Lopez. He said, will you take me out and I'm trying to make sure I did it right. There was another officer there in a shirt like that, it was a tan shirt of that dark. And he went with us. We waited for him, because that's right. Lopez wanted us to wait for him, so he got there. He did. He came up quick before dark. And he said, okay, I want you to take us to what you saw. So we walked out the road, the 3 of us, and I had marked where the body was by a flashlight. One of my little flashlights. I turned it on and put it on the tree limb, the steep limb, and turned it on. So I know exactly where it was in case I saw it. We walked to the flashlight. I said, okay, here's the flashlight. I put the flashlight down. I said, you guys walk in this direction 10 feet and you're going to see the body. They walked it, and Officer Lopez walked up and looked at the other officer. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. And nodded. And they said, okay, let's back off, because we don't want to contaminate any evidence. Let's back off and go back to the house. But the one officer, which is Sergeant, or I don't know, he stayed with the body. And me and Officer Lopez went back to the house, not in the house, we went back to his vehicle. And he said, I'm going to call other officers. And so there were, 4 or 5 cars came. He said, where's your wife? She's in the house. Can they go up to talk to her? And I said, of course. They went up, they rang the doorbell, and they talked to her. And then she's being brought here too, I think. I don't know. But I never saw her after that, period. So,
wow.
I'm sure I've left out some things, but that's basically.
That's a long answer. It's everything that happened today.
As much as I remember. I will say this, that I've never been confronted with a situation like this where I'm still somewhat agitated. I'm still somewhat nervous, upset. You don't find a body on your ranch.
I understand. Let me ask you something, George. Did you ever call the Sheriff's Office directly?
No, the Border Patrol called.
Did you ever advise Border Patrol that you saw someone inside your house?
There was nobody was inside my house.
So when you initially called Border Patrol, you never made a statement where you told,
Oh, yeah,
I got people inside my house?
No, I never done that because there's nobody inside my house. I said, I'm inside my house and there's people running outside my house. That was the initial call of Border Patrol. Because I could see the backpack, I assumed they were probably drug runners, and I always called Border Patrol.
What time was it around when you initially saw the people?
I was eating lunch, right after the late lunch.
It could be more than this.
1:30, 2 o'clock.
And you mentioned that you heard a shot. Do you own any weapons?
Yes. Yeah.
How many weapons do you own? And what type of weapons do you own?
Well, I can say he's gonna come get all our guns, so I don't know that I want to answer that.
That's okay. And that's in your ready?
I had, Officer Lopez has my 40 caliber Glock, and I had it on my side, and he said, will you let me?
Officer Lopez has his
Yeah,
Glock.
and I'll put it in my car and get it back to you when this is all done. So I have he has my 40 caliber Glock.
But is it safe to say that you have more weapons in the house?
I'm not going to answer.
Let me ask, I'm going to tell you this, George. I'm going to do a search warrant on your house.
That's fine.
I'm drafting up the search warrant.
That's
Right?
fine.
Whether you tell me or no, I'm going to find out. Let me tell you this. Do you know we conduct ballistics, correct?
Yes.
So, then we'll go into that right now, okay? So at one point, did you ever run after these people?
Run after them? No.
Okay. Did you ever, at any time you saw these people running, wearing your lines, did you feel that your life was in danger?
Yes.
Okay?
Because I heard a shot fired.
Okay. And now knowing your life was in danger because you heard the shots, I'm asking you, did you ever run after these people?
No, I did not run after them.
At the time you were reading lunch, were you armed?
I had my 40 caliber on my side.
Are you always armed?
Yes.
Okay. And
Well, not always. I don't put the people.
I mean, during your normal day, during your normal day.
Yeah, I was at 40 caliber.
So at one point you never went after these people?
No,
You
no.
never tried to see who you were?
No. Now, when I called Border Patrol and they were coming out, I walked down the road and across the wash and up to the other side because I simply wanted to see if somebody was over there.
I'm going to pause just a second. This is so hard to listen to. It does sound like it's recorded on a potato in a dumpster. This is the interview with, I believe, the lead detective at the police station, at the sheriff's office. He's recounting his whole day. The defendant has left and told the whole story minus any reference to the AK-47 and him firing any shots. So we have him telling the whole story. He's talked about his 40, his Glock on his hip, and how the officers came and got that. He said he did not chase after them at any point. He did feel his life was threatened, but he did not chase after them. He said he called the police as soon as he heard the gunshot outside that was close by, saw his horse running. Closed captions won't turn on this one. I've tried to turn it on. It says unavailable. So it's it's just it's weird. It's weird. So it's a little shady. He's been asked specifically, point blank, what other guns do you have in the house? And he said, I'm not going to answer that. The officer says, well, I'm drafting a search warrant right now, and I'm going to find out what you got. He's like, that's fine, but I'm not going to answer that. So he doesn't talk about, he hasn't said what other firearms he owns. The officer has brought up the idea of ballistics and how they can match a bullet to a gun. He's like, that's cool, whatever. Yeah, that's good. But he has not said anything. The things that stand out in what he's said so far, Mr. Kelly has said that the first time he called Border Patrol and the police came out and checked his property, he says they walked all over. Some officer walked right through where that body was and didn't see it. And then later, when he's putting his horse down, he finds the body. I have to tell you, this seems suspicious to me. It seems suspicious. But before we start again, Kim R., thank you for gifting a membership. And look at this. Julie Frazier, 12 months, a whole year. Woohoo. Thank you for letting me chat. Absolute nonsense to the best people for 12 whole months. Julie, thank you so much. We're going to go back to, you got a little ear rest for just a minute. I ruined it with yelling and all that. But we're going to return. I'm going to sort of give you the cliff notes at the end of this. I'm not sure how much longer this interview is. I think we probably are going to at least get to the point where he first references or mentions having fired a shot, and I thought that was like 50 minutes in. So buckle up. We've got probably at least another half hour before that happens. So let's see what happens.
Shoot my cows. So I didn't walk after them. I just walked down the road and walked to my car.
Was there around the same time when the deputies initially responded as well?
I'm not sure.
When you said that you walked the wash and you went up to check that nobody was checking your cows or killing your cows, I'm sorry. Was that around the same time when the deputies responded when you mentioned that they were?
Yes, I met them on the road. Okay. Border Patrol came there first.
So we have deputies saying that you were armed with a rifle. Is that saying?
Yes.
So that's true?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever go back to the house to get your rifle?
Did I ever go back to the house? I have to go back when?
To the house. Because right now I asked you if you were armed. You said you only were armed with your
Yes.
Now you're saying that you had a rifle.
I was armed when I saw the individuals. Before I started walking down the road, to walk down the road, I got my AK-47. So I have an AK-47. I got it, and I put it on my shoulder with my pistol, and I walked down the road with the pistol and the AK-47. You'd have to be out there, but it's my main road through the ranch. I didn't look for them, I didn't chase them. I just walked down and went over to the barn to make sure that everything was secure at the barn.
And we say you felt your life was in danger because of the shot or because you saw the man?
The shot. And I saw the men after the shot. You put the two together. And you know what it's like to be out there. I mean, I've been shot 3 times in the last 20 years.
Have they reported those kinds of incidents?
Yes. In fact, the sheriff actually arrested one of the guys. There was not a drug. I was closing the gate one time, and 3 shots came by. One of them clipped my ear.
When was this?
How long ago?
He's been shot at 3
and I called
times.
the sheriff immediately. And they came out.
On his
and they
ranch,
came down
one of the shots clipped his
ear. And the guy
ear.
was trying to run away, and they caught him and took the gun.
So you go out there and find the body. What time did you find the body?
It was before dark, so I would say
5 o'clock. And what did you do once you saw the body?
as soon as I saw the body, I backed off, went to the house, and called the Border Patrol.
Is there any reason you called Border Patrol and not us first?
Because the Border Patrol were the initial investigators of the incident.
This is
that
the
took place earlier that
underlying
day.
issue.
And Jerry Marcel is the ranch liaison, and he said, anytime you see any people out there that you are suspicious of, call us, and we'll come out and investigate. And so he'd already been out there, and we have a personal relationship. I mean, he's a ranch liaison, I've known him for years. And so I called him, and that's fine. And he said, I will call the sheriff's department. I said, please, call the sheriff's department. So, I don't know if I answered your question like you asked it.
The sheriff's department says, why did they call the Border Patrol instead of us?
Something's not adding up.
Okay, everyone's not adding up.
Something's not adding up. It's just how this all came about, how it was reported the first time, and how the second time was reported. You made some statements to some deputies. I don't see that it's very concerning to me right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to be straight up with me, be honest. Okay? This is your time to try to help yourself. If you shot this person by mistake or by fear, you gotta let me know, because I'm gonna do a search on your house.
I understand.
And I'm gonna do ballistics, and if I recover the casing or the bullet on the body and it looks like their weapon, you're gonna be in trouble.
I understand.
So I'm giving you the opportunity right now. Be real honest. And if you shot this person, you gotta let me know right now. You gotta be honest with me, George, because nothing's adding up right now. The statements you made on scene and what you're telling me right now,
I don't know why you didn't add up.
it's not adding up.
Tell me what didn't add up.
It's in the stories, your demeanor and your behavior, okay? So I'm gonna ask you one more time, okay? And I'm gonna ask you to be honest with me.
I've been honest with you.
Okay? So if you shot this person by fear and you hit him and he died, you gotta let me know. Because like I said, I'm gonna do a search on your house and I'm gonna recover every single weapon and I'm gonna get it tested. Whether you tell me,
I have no reason to believe I shot this person.
what does that mean?
It means I have no reason to believe I shot him. That's it.
Did you shoot? You made a statement, let me put it this way. You made a statement on one of your 911 calls to this agent, I shot something. Okay?
To the Border Patrol agent?
Yes, sir. So
So
your stories are not
I didn't make that statement.
Okay, well, it is, okay, and I'm gonna talk to the Border Patrol.
Right on.
Everything's recorded, you understand?
I understand.
Okay, so I'm asking you one more time.
I did not make the statement that I shot
I'm gonna ask you, you shot at something. That's exactly what was said, okay, and it was said
I did not make that statement.
George, I'm telling you right now.
Okay?
I'm telling you. This is your opportunity.
I understand.
Come forward and tell me the truth.
I'm telling you, I did not make the statement that I shot somebody.
Okay.
Or shot it, shot, asked somebody, shot period.
Well, it was said by you, okay? So my question to you right now.
How do you know it said that?
Because the agent that called us said that you needed someone out there because you had shot someone.
That's the agent said it. I didn't say it.
Okay.
I didn't make the statement that I shot at or shot somebody.
The agent
said, no, he might have. I'm not going to say what the agent did. I hadn't heard the agent.
Okay, did you shoot this gentleman?
No. As far as I know. I mean, how can I know that?
You're the one with the rifle. You're the one out was found out with a rifle. You're the one that found the body coincidentally hours after you spotted him. Okay?
I did not shoot at anybody.
Your wife is here.
I understand.
And I'm going to talk to you right now.
Talk to her.
Okay? So, you never shot this gentleman?
No. No. I mean,
Okay. Well, once we do the ballistics and everything's going to come back, and we're going to find out.
I understand.
And if that round came out of your AK-47
Right.
or AR-15, guess what?
I go to jail.
Exactly.
I understand. That's the way it is. And then,
Okay, so now knowing that, help yourself and tell me the truth right now.
I haven't told you the lie yet. If
George, look at me. George, look at me. I can see it in your eyes right now that you want to tell me something. I can see you want to make this right and be at peace with yourself. If you shot this gentleman, you got to let me know now. If you keep lying, it's going to get worse for you.
I haven't said I didn't shoot.
Did you shoot? Towards these gentlemen?
Not.
George, did you shoot at these gentlemen?
I did not shoot at those gentlemen.
Did you shoot?
Yes. I shot over their head.
Okay. Well, you struck someone. And is that person that's dead right now?
I don't know.
I'm telling you right now.
Well, the shot fired originally might have been.
You understand what you just told me? You shot that thing.
Not after over the head.
How far were they when you shot them?
150 yards.
Okay. How accurate of a shooter are you?
Good.
Have you actually zeroed that rifle? Out to the range and zeroed it?
No.
So it's not accurate?
I shot 100 yards over their head.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If let's say the target.
How dark was it when you shot?
Huh?
How dark was it?
2 o'clock in the afternoon. So plenty of light.
And why did you shoot them if they were winning the round?
Because when you're out there in that situation, and you have people that they weren't running away from you, they were just running. I didn't know where they were going.
You said earlier that they're running away.
They're running across.
Okay, away from
Across the
the
brush.
brush. Were they coming at you?
They were running parallel with me.
Were they coming at you?
Okay, I'm not trying to.
No, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Let's just look at this point right here. Here's the point. Here's where I'm standing. These people that I saw running were running like this.
150 yards away from you.
100 to 150 100, 150 yards away from me. And they were armed. They were armed.
What are they armed with?
You can ask my wife. Also, she knows what she just said a rifle. She said, I see them have a rifle. And she'll tell you that they had a rifle. And so they had a rifle, they were running across like this and at 150 yards. And I shot 100 yards over their head. In other words, you aim a gun like this, got 150 yards. You know the range of an AK-47 go what, mile? And so if I'm aiming over their heads that far, there's no way I could have shot that individual.
Let me ask you this, when they were running with the rifle, did they ever point their rifle at you?
Yeah.
Oh, now they did.
The guy's running with a rifle, and he turns, he's going to turn, and he's going to point it at you. Just like in a mode of turning, he's going to point it at you. So, yeah, they turned with the rifle and pointed it toward him. In fact, my wife saw this.
Soon after they pointed the rifle at you, how long did it take you to shoot?
Over top of their head immediately.
And any other thing?
No, that's it.
Where's the rifle at right now?
In my house. I'll give it to you. I don't know. You might never serve it.
You're not going back to the house. You're not going back to the house right now.
Okay.
The house is secure right now. Like I said,
My dogs are 7.
we'll take care of the dogs. Don't worry about it. We'll find out. We'll find out. But like I said, there's some inconsistencies with your story. The story some statements you made.
I'm 74 years old. I'm saying I might be confused.
Can you let me finish, please? I'll let you talk and you let me finish now.
Okay.
So there is inconsistencies with your story right now. What I've been told by deputies on scene, what you said and what you told Border Patrol. Okay? You just admitted right now that you shot.
Yeah.
At the running subject.
I did not shoot at them. I shot over their head.
It doesn't matter. You shot towards them. Whether you shot over their heads or not, you're shooting towards them. Okay? All right?
You shoot straight over the ear.
It doesn't matter. You shot towards them. You're actually over their heads.
Yeah.
You say you're an educated man. So put there. You shot them.
Not at them. I shot over their head.
Same difference.
I don't agree.
Okay? Well, your actions kill someone.
I don't know that.
Well, we're going to find out. Once I do the ballistics. And I'm going to tell you right now. I'll give you more than one time to tell me the truth. You're saying you shot over the heads. Yeah, that's what you're going to stick to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Do you have anything else for me, Mr. Anything else for me? Anything you want to add? Anything that is very important that's going to help you out or assist me in figuring this out?
I think you both been very respectful.
And I think I haven't disrespected you.
No, you haven't.
I just want to get the bottom because we have.
I'm very upset and I'm confused. I know that.
We have
74 and I have senility.
Okay. We have a deceased person.
I what?
We have a deceased person.
Yes, yes, I know.
Okay. From a bullet strike.
I don't know about that.
Well, yes, I can tell right now it is.
So you examine it.
Okay. We have a sergeant that's on scene that he used to be a detective.
Okay.
It looks like a puncture wound. Okay. Then you put your story together, what you built Border Patrol, put them two together. Whether your shot is accurate or not, whether that weapon is zero or not, something happened during that heat of the moment, adrenaline, you shot. You said you shot over the heads.
I tell you, I'm saying this one shot I heard that have shot that individual too. There was one shot I heard before. Remember, it all started. I heard a shot. That's why I went outside. Saw the guy, heard a shot. That shot could have shot that individual.
But you know the camera's out there, right?
Oh, I'm giving permission to put them all over my ranch.
All right. Was there anything else, sir?
Not that I can think of now that's relevant or pertinent. I apologize if I'm not clear or cognizant of that.
No, you're clear. It's just what I've been told, what you said, and what's being relayed, it's just inconsistencies. It's not adding up.
If I were you, maybe I would say it was inconsistent.
No.
I mean, I understand. I understand.
This is what I do for a living.
I understand.
You know?
You're not. You're an individual that hasn't seen a body in the last 4 hours, laying on the ground.
Well, I've seen bodies left and right.
24 hours from now, I may be a little more calm.
I've seen bodies freshly dead. Okay? So, it's just, like I said, George, I'm not here to disrespect you. I haven't been disrespectful.
Well,
I appreciate you coming out here, but it's just, the story just don't match up, okay?
If I were in your shoes, maybe I would think
Okay, so the full story is, you shot someone's dead.
Yeah.
And proximity to your property.
They're on the property, yeah. The body's on the property.
So, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back. You stay right here, okay?
Yeah, I would like to have some water.
I'll get you somewhere. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you a bottle of water, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, quick pause. Breaking that down, the second half here, Mr. Kelly has admitted to now having the AK-47 with him, which he sort of let slip and then had to go back and explain that he had it. Then he also admitted that he shot, and he did it in a way where he said, I didn't shoot him. And they said, did you shoot? And he said, I didn't say I didn't shoot. And it's sort of like this little cat and mouse game of information as he's like teasing things out and not wanting to say some things and answering other questions. But eventually it comes out that he did shoot, and he says he shot sort of at them over their heads 100 yards, but not at them. The police officer says if it's at them, it doesn't matter if it's 100 yards above them or right at them, it's the same thing, which is not. But he says you pretty much admitted. You pretty much said that's what it is. You said you shot at him, and that's what I'm going to run with. Mr. George Kelly is he said he's senile. he says, you know, I apologize. I'm just trying to get this fixed. I just want to get this taken care of. Don't know what to do. He said at the beginning he wasn't sure if he needed a lawyer. He sort of doesn't have a lawyer right now. Those who are asking, in Arizona, currently, it's not legal to shoot trespassers. I say currently because there's literally a bill that was proposed in their legislature to change that so that you can legally shoot trespassers. That makes trespassing a capital punishment crime. Capital punishment first offense at the scene. Skip the judge and jury. Yeah. So he's gone and sort of stuck his foot in it a little bit, and the way this was drawn out, this whole interview, it just makes him look it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. He said, hey, I'll show you where the gun is. Yeah, I've got the gun. It's at home. I'll bring it to you. And he's like, no, you're not going home right now. You're not going home at all. He knew at this time they were going to have him arrested. But it says the home's secure. We're going to go serve a search warrant. We're going to get the gun. Turns out they did serve the search warrant. They didn't get the gun. They missed it. It was behind the door. They had to go back a second time and find the gun, which they had inadvertently photographed, sort of, but not seen. So, yeah, this was not good for Mr. Kelly. I think he would have been much better off having a lawyer and not talked.
I'm sitting right here. Yes, sir. Okay.
He says, I want a drink of water. And the detective says, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting up to get you some water. That's where I was going.
Your Honor, would you like me to fast forward through the time when nothing's said?
Yes, please. Please, Judge.
What's your position? What's the gap here?
I think it's a few minutes.
We can end it.
Is there something else?
I think so.
And we'll watch it.
So you just want to fast forward to that point? Is that all right? Okay, go ahead.
Just skip it. She's skipping ahead.
Hey, George, we ran out of bottles, but we have a cup of water. That's okay with you?
I don't drink any water except bottled water.
Got you. Yeah, like I mentioned, we ran out of the...
I won't time.
Okay.
So we ran out of bottled water, but I got you a cup. He says, well, I only drink bottled water. They probably bought him a ceramic mug, all polished, no fingerprints. And he says, I only drink bottled water.
Medication, I am medication. Okay.
George?
Yeah, let me ask you, I'll make sure my wife is okay.
Yes, sir.
She's on medication and I'm on medication. Okay. My blood pressure medication is at my house. So, okay. And I take like a bunch of different pills.
Where are the pills at?
They're in my medicine cabinet.
I have some pills in your pocket. What pills?
They're not high blood pressure medication.
Because you told me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the original protein. All right.
I can tell you what they are.
Okay, George. No, you can put them away. I'll put them away from right here.
No, high blood pressure.
Okay. All right, George. Hi, George. Is there anything else you want to answer? Is there anything else you want to tell me before we end?
Something.
Hey. You keep on thinking, George, and I'm here, okay?
I can say this.
Go ahead.
And I want you to hear this.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me what you need to know, or what I need to know.
If I had thought that I had shot someone, I would have been stupid to call Border Patrol and I knew it on call the sheriff's department. That would be the dumbest thing that an educated man would do. I would have never called. Period. I have no idea. I do not believe that I shot this person. I know I didn't shoot this person. If I thought there was any chance I shot the person, I would not have called him.
Why would you say that?
Because only an idiot would call it in. Because it would be like, I don't know. Okay, I suppose a man breaking in your house and he's got a gun and he's threatened your life. Okay, stop. I already asked you if they were in second, how you said no. I'm just. Let me finish. Okay. I already asked you if they were in how you said no. Okay. You already said your life was in danger because they had a rifle on them. Okay. I said my life wasn't in danger. That's what I'm saying. Your life was in danger because the man had a rifle and you said that he had pointing at you. Okay. You shot at them, but not at them, over them. I shot over their heads. The body is this is in your property. Yes. Okay. Well, what is believed to be with a single gunshot wound. Okay. A long gunshot wound. You said you shot with an AK-47. Yes. Okay. And your inconsistent stories at what was said and what was told and what was relayed to us. Okay. Okay. That's not what I said. So it's what's being recorded. Okay. So George, I'm gonna ask one more time. Is there anything else that you want to tell me right now to help yourself out? I don't see what I can say you don't do. Okay. So George, right now, you're going to be under arrest. I understand. For first degree murder. I understand. You understand? I understand. So we're going to go ahead and process you. Okay. There's a gentleman that's going to take you right now. We're parking out to take you to the hospital so you can get some medication prescribed. You're going to be booked in for first degree murder. I understand. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add? No. Okay. So as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and interview. And we'll go from here. Okay? Okay? Thank you. So this is Detective Professional. This is Detective Ayden, along with Detective Barba. This will end our interview with George Allen Kelly at 2119 hours. I will take care of it. Just hold on, okay? Stay right here.
Okay, please make it stop now. Please make it stop. All right, he said something really stupid there at the end. I don't know how else to say that. He said something very stupid. He said, if I had thought, if I had any indication that I thought I was the one that shot this person, I wouldn't have called it in. I wouldn't have called the Border Patrol. I wouldn't have called the Sheriff's Department, because that would be stupid. Because, you know, if I had thought that I had killed him, that would be stupid to call him in. And the guy says, hang on, wait a second. Detective says, wait a second. You just told me that they were armed and they were shooting at you. You're saying it was self-defense. And now you're saying if you thought for a second that the bullet hit him, you would have hid the evidence and not called the police? Not a good look. Not a good look, because the story changes there. Now, the detective is twisting his words, and it's taking little bits of the sentence and twisting it and using it against him. Guess what? They can lie to you guys. Surprise, surprise. The cops can and will lie to you in interrogation. I've been there. Not on the cop side, on the defendant side. I've been there trying to help the cops out, help them. Look what I know about this crime. Let me see if I can give you some information. Let me tell the story. You know what they do? They tried to pin it on me. Kid you not. I've been there. It wasn't my bomb. I won that one. They came around. But I should have called a lawyer.
That's all the questions I had, Your Honor.
That's all the questions? All right. Cross-examination.
Sorry, I was shocked. He told me he would have questions after.
Sorry.
So glad to. Well, I can talk after lunch. While we are on this video, let's talk about that first. It wasn't my order, but I think it's fresh in our minds, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You asked over and over, did you shoot at these gentlemen? And the response was, no, I didn't shoot at those gentlemen. But when you asked, did you shoot, he said yes, and followed up with over the head, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Now, it seems to me like we're combining the events of what happened earlier to what happened that evening, okay? The 5 subjects that ran across his window would be heading in a southward direction, correct?
That's correct.
Because he said they were running parallel to him.
That's correct.
And you now understand he's in his home, in his kitchen. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
And we all went out there yesterday, and we're talking about the location of the body is due east, correct?
That's correct.
Give or take a few degrees, whatever, generally speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, if a person sees subjects running across the window, and the wife sees two of them running across the window, because think about it this way. If he says, Wanda, quiet, look outside, some of them could have already ran past the window. Was that possible?
It could be possible.
And then she looks up and sees two, correct?
That's what she's stating.
That's what she did state over and over and adamantly in court, and you've been in here the whole time, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay. Now, there's dispute, what she's saying, and we could talk about those disputes a little bit later. But for the sake of her adamant testimony that she saw two, three could have already came out of the view of the window, correct?
It's possible.
Thank you. Now, you said there was no evidence.
Exactly, ma'am.
There's a witness, and she's sitting right behind me, and her name is Wanda Kelly.
I know, ma'am. I recognize.
Okay. Witnesses are evidence, potential evidence, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Because we brought someone in with, I don't know what we're calling him now, but started off as DRR, and he came in to testify, and that is your evidence, correct?
That's correct.
So is her testimony any less than his credibility and testimony?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And of course, that'll be the juror's decision. We all understand that, right?
That's correct.
Okay. But we're looking at what you were looking at, and that's what I'm trying to convey to the jurors at this moment, okay?
That's correct.
All right. Now, that went one step further. It was reported, and now we have more evidence of not something that got fabricated later on, but we have more evidence now that Mr. Kelly wanted to report his findings of what was going on, correct?
That's correct.
And from his information to the Border Patrol, Jeremy Marcel, he hadn't left his house yet when he reported it. Are you agreeing with that?
It's the first time or the second time?
We're at the beginning.
He was at work.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly never had stepped out yet. He said he was going to, and he heard a shot, and then we got the horse, and that he might have to shoot, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, we can all recall what Jeremy testified to.
Yes, I was here.
Okay. And so, if a person thinks they ran parallel across their window, what's the first direction you're going to look at when you step out of your house?
What's the direction they're running?
Right. I'm going to stand up and confirm that. I'm in my house, people are running across it and heading south, and I'm pointing to the right for the court reporter.
I understand. I got
That'd be
you.
my right. I get on the phone because Miss Wanda over here brings the phone with the Border Patrol on there, and he reports what he reported, correct?
That's correct.
All right. He grabs his gun from the corner of the door there, which we heard testimony about that from Miss Wanda, I believe, correct?
That's correct.
And so when he steps out, is he going to look towards a body that's found later, or is he going to look at the subjects that are running in the south direction?
It's logical he's going to look at the subjects.
Thank you. Now, he sees one of them, based on his statement given to you, turn around with his rifle.
That's what he told me.
We now have the potential of self-defense, but instead of shooting that man, he shoots up in the air. And however many cases you found, 8, 9, what was it?
It was a total of 9.
9 times. And he had the potential to even do more if he wanted to, correct?
That's correct.
Well, you know what size ammo he had on him, right? What his magazine looked like?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he could have done 20 or whatever, but he stopped at 9. And he comes and testifies that these people move outward and go down his road to what would be the direction of the barn, the ravine that you crossed through that we all saw yesterday, correct?
That's correct.
He clearly said he didn't chase him.
He said he didn't chase him.
Right. So somehow we get that into the mix of everything else.
That's correct.
Okay. What part of raising his rifle to the subject that pointed a rifle at him is illegal?
Ma'am, your meaning of shooting at them or shooting on their heads, it's different from my idea. Doing that, it's reckless, it's dangerous. If you say shooting at them or over the heads, it's still a reckless display of a weapon, this reckless discharge of a firearm too.
Okay. You're stating that when he has over 100 and something, almost 200 acres of land, that it would be reckless to even shoot his rifle on his own property?
Pointing the gun up in the air and shooting it recklessly, ma'am, it is.
To what would he hit?
You never know, ma'am.
So now you're thinking maybe this person could have been way out there somewhere, got hit, and walked to the location?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, so which way is it? Because y'all are presenting evidence that the bullet hole is facing the house. So is it that he died there, or did he die out there recklessly somewhere over the ridge, down in the creek, and received a bullet?
He died where he was at.
Okay, so you want to stay with that? How does that gun pointed at the people to the right affect the person that's due east? How does that happen?
Can you repeat the question?
How does a bullet that is being shot in a southern direction over the heads of these subjects end up in a bullet that is a person that's due east? How's that reckless? And how did it happen?
The evidence shows, ma'am, that Mr. Kelly came out of his porch and shot towards the direction. The body is dead directly behind his porch.
That's your testimony, sir. What evidence do you have of that?
The trajectory of the bullet, ma'am, coming in and out of the body, is coming from the direction of the Kelly house.
You heard testimony.
Finish the answer.
Oh, I apologize.
Okay, ma'am? That's where it's coming from. It goes from right to left, from bottom, and exits the chest. It is coming from the direction of the Kelly house.
Let me give you another possibility. If the judge is the location of the ravine that we stopped to look at yesterday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the dead body is over here. Did you notice the elevation towards the ravine was way lower than the elevation where the body was?
The wash, you mean, going down?
Wash. The arroyo, the wash, the ravine.
It drops. Yeah, it drops down.
It drops down.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you recall, when we had that little stick that we put through the skeleton, you could see it was an upward direction. So what if someone from the ravine, depending where I'm at, I might be even closer, and they're lower and shoot in a direction that comes up and raises up and comes out my heart?
But the ravine is on the other side of the body, ma'am. The shot that came in through the victim is on the right side. You're talking about the ravine to the left side.
Then the medical examiner said, yes, you could take steps. Yes, you can even go feet. Yes, you might be able to go yards. How do you know that he didn't try to go get help after being shot and took some steps and fell in the direction of the house? How do you know that?
Because there's no signs of struggle or signs or blood drippings or anything that suggests that he walked.
Well, sir, do you remember his testimony when he rolled up on this and saw the body and told the call center there was no sign of blood? That the medical examiner said most of the blood was contained in the body.
Yes, I understand. I remember that.
And when you have an exit location and you roll someone over, you're going to allow the blood to move in a direction that will allow maybe possible leakage at that time, and hence we see that in the shirt, correct?
That's correct.
So you're moving the body may have caused all the bleeding for people to see. And I say you, meaning your department.
I understand that, ma'am.
Okay. The problem is, sir, that the burden of proof, first at probable cause and now in the court beyond a reasonable doubt, lies with you guys. And I want to go ahead and examine what evidence do you really have, sir, because we've heard a lot of testimony for 3 weeks. Would you agree?
That's correct, ma'am.
And I'd like to go over some of that testimony and come back to this. But you don't consider this a confession interview, do you?
The interview I conducted with Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
A complete confession?
Yes.
No, ma'am. The thing is, he was very unreliable from the beginning. Coming into this interview, I had enough information what had occurred. Mr. Kelly walked into that interview thinking that I didn't know what had occurred.
Well,
I gave him...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, ma'am.
No, you can finish your sentence. That's my
I gave
bad.
him multiple opportunities to come forward and tell me. It took Mr. Kelly 30 minutes before he confessed to me, well, admitted to shooting. And like I said, he said he's shooting over their heads, not at them, like I explained to you earlier, ma'am.
Okay, let's look at your questions. You are the trained interviewer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this man admitted, I just saw a dead body and basically was still in the shock of that, and you brushed it off when he tried to tell you that. And he said, maybe if you talk to me tomorrow, I'll be calmer. You heard that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Kelly is a man's man. He comes into an interview with you knowing darn well what he's there for, why you arrested him out at the scene, okay, and brought him in handcuffs, right? You don't think he doesn't know? People know that, right? If you're handcuffed, you're probably under arrest, correct?
He's an educated man. I believe he would know, ma'am.
Okay, and we learned about his education. Thank you.
That's correct.
Now, you know you did nothing wrong. Go with me for a second. And then in the same location that your departments and the Border Patrol, everyone searched out there and no one found a body. We don't even know if that body walked later or earlier, was there. We just don't know. We don't have that evidence, true?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, he's cutting up a little bit of humor, just like he did with his text messaging. So let's talk about the text messaging and come back to this. You had a chance to look through all those text messages, right?
If you're talking about the ones with Detective Barber did on the search warrant?
Yes, and it was with Jeremy Marcel, and then it moved into friend and family, correct?
I briefly looked at them, yes.
Okay, and you heard the testimony here, and they conveyed it to everyone, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. If you knew that you were a senior citizen with your wife, no one else out there on a big ranch, and people on a regular basis are coming through his property, and Border Patrol is taking the time to warn him about it, and Jeremy was warning him through January as it led up to this case, correct?
That's correct. Okay. Text messages, yes.
And this is not this is a type of guy that thinks he can handle everything himself. And he probably wouldn't admit it, but I bet you he had to be very worried and very scared on his own property. Is that possible?
On the day of the incident?
Leading up to it, the last half year, however far back you need to go.
It's his choice to live out there, man.
When you own that much land, and they usually come out there in the winter and go to another location, like a snowbird, right? Did he mention that to you?
Yes.
Okay. But he owns it. This is his home. And he can't even be on his own home. And he's being told it's scary out there. And he hears about it. And he learns about a dead body right down the road from him, a lady. You put it together how he should feel. Shouldn't he be scared?
Dad told somebody wearing that body, ma'am, that dead body. That was not a murder or...
We don't know what he heard, but I'm saying is the rumors went out that a lady died right down the road, and neighbors have conveyed different messages than possibly what you eventually investigated. The point is, the fear factor, and him being a man's man cuts up jokes instead of saying, best friend, I'm scared. Son, I'm scared. I'm worried about your mom.
Objection, Your Honor. Testimonial. Is there a question?
Sustained.
His behavior on the text messages could have resulted from his reaction to fear, just like he did when he started off the interview with you. It's possible, right?
That's exactly what I asked him, ma'am. I asked him if he thought he shot out of fear to tell me.
No. The fear wasn't that he shot out of fear. The fear was he's in a police station being interrogated by a detective accusing him of doing it. People do get scared when they get around the police. Would you agree?
Not everyone.
A lot of people do, sir.
Not everyone.
I bet you note in your report that the behaviors of people acting...
Argumentative, Your Honor.
Well, I haven't heard the question yet.
That you have made numerous reports of people acting scared or acting nervous around you. Is that common?
Overruled.
It is common.
Okay. And you don't know this man for Adam, right? I mean, you never met him before this incident, correct?
It's the first time I met Mr. Kelsey.
So you don't know his character, do you?
Exactly, ma'am.
Okay. So you're drawing your own conclusions without knowing the rest of the story. It's possible, right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's start back at the beginning when we have a mishap of communication from Jeremy to his supervisor, to the call center, to dispatching out information saying that he admitted to shooting. Do y'all have your book informed, or can you tell me the number so I can read it from the clerk? Two? Number two? Can I get number two, please? Permission to publish again?
Granted.
And this is States 2.
States 2. Some of the first evidence admitted in court.
This form was done right after, give it take a few minutes, whatever, after you interviewed Mr. Kelly, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Now, he denied this, and I'm going to blow it up just a drop, too, for anyone that needs the eyesight help. Mr. Kelly was interviewed and admitted to, what's that word there, sir? Shooting? I want to make sure I get this quote right. Last line. Is it shooting?
Yes, shooting.
Did you read the rest of the sentence?
At male subjects. A deceased male subject was discovered on his property.
The male subjects that he said he shot over the head were the 5 people he tried to report, correct?
That's correct.
And that was plural.
That's correct.
How you get from that group to the east direction of body, I'm not sure how you place that body from one group to the other. How do you?
This is based on what Mr. Kelly did, the 5 subjects, whether it was the 2 that passed or the other ones. This is what was documented.
So he's being arrested then not for a first-degree murder, but for assault, aggravated assault for shooting over the head of 5 subjects on his property?
At the time of the booking and the arrest, this is what the charge was.
Which is?
First-degree murder.
So that's premeditated.
That's correct, ma'am. I'm sorry,
What's the matter?
No, I
okay.
changed something on the screen here.
It's okay. And first degree is premeditated.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying that he went out there and thought it out, that he was going to shoot someone?
His actions, ma'am, knowing what he was doing, he went out there. This unlawful discharge of the firearm, disregard for human life. He went out there and shot, ma'am.
And you do believe in the self-defense ability that all Americans have a right to defend themselves, correct?
I do believe that, ma'am.
Okay, and person raising a rifle up at you, sir, right now I'm raising my handgun at you, and what would you do if I did? Be honest, what would you do?
I would shoot back.
Okay, so you would take your weapon out if it's not already out, if it was only a handgun, but if you had a rifle in your hands, you would raise it at me and possibly shoot right at me, wouldn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is called self-defense, sir,
Yes,
right?
But yes, ma'am.
Okay, so nothing you've heard from him when he said a person turned around with his rifle and pointed it at him, anything about that says you don't have a right to self-defense and you're calling it reckless?
I'm not saying that, man, completely. Mr. Kelly stated, when I asked him if they were coming at them, he said no. I did ask him if they pointed the weapon at him. He did say yes, but he never said that they shot at him.
Sir, do you need to wait till a bullet hits you before you return fire?
I'm not saying that, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Kelly did not need to wait for another shot, but he's already heard one, correct? Based on his version of calling Jeremy, he said, I heard a shot, correct?
Based on his testimony, he said he heard one shot.
And he said that to you in his interview, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so now he knows that something's out there willing to shoot at something, and you want him to wait till another bullet hits him?
No, ma'am.
Personally, I wouldn't have done what he would have done. I would have shot at the person with the rifle and not up in the air. But that was pretty gracious, wouldn't you say?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
I'm still kind of confused how shooting off to the right, where these men were seen running, crossing his window, I'm still confused how you think because he was just out there and had a gun, that meant he killed the man in the east direction.
You were out there, man. You've seen the pictures of how many rounds we found. Okay? There was one to the right and the rest to the left. Is the Kelly going to be shooting from left to right or right to left? There's 9 casings that were found out there.
Now, I'm not going to bore with all those photos. We saw them all earlier, but I do have a couple on that point I'd like to show you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe these are coming from the grouping.
That's what a microphone in the armpit sounds like, in case you were curious. I could have demonstrated that for you as well if you were, wanted that, but thank you for the attorney for doing that.
Just a minute, Your Honor.
Sure.
My desk got messed up.
Someone messed up her desk. Who's been sitting in the attorney's desk messing things up? We're going to have to organize all the papers now. Can't find where we're going.
I'm just going to mark them to be safe.
It's okay.
Judge snorts, not a contempt,
They
just
may not have been in another group.
regular snort, a non-contemptful snort. Attorney walks up to the clerk, gets a couple exhibits marked, just in case they're not admitted already. The problem with this story, with them pointing a gun at him, is he didn't say he shot back at that moment. They're sort of piecing it together, saying, oh, it could have been self-defense. Ooh. It's not the best way to tell that story if you were going for that argument. Sounded somewhat contemptful. The guy wasn't armed, but one of the detectives thought he was a hunter. Why? Because he had binoculars. Apparently, binoculars substitute for a firearm in some states when you're hunting. You can just shoot him with the focus, I guess. I'm surprised she was able to get that line of questioning out as far as she did with this witness. With saying that if I was holding a weapon pointing it at you, you would, yeah, wow. That was spicy.
Now noted as defense 000.
Oh. What song is that? Oh,
Well,
straight up.
Ms. Lothorpe, it's 3 o'clock. I'm looking for a good time to.
Let me just finish this evidence.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you want to do that, then let's do that. All right.
To what, Judge? He's looking for a good time to do something. I don't know what he was. I'm not going to put words in his mouth.
Okay, let me show you.
He's looking for a good time too.
000
But he didn't say what it was.
and
Oh.
Go ahead and take a look at it and tell me if you can identify these photos.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know
Okay,
that.
what are they?
These are
Everyone's putting songs that have oh in it.
casings identified with placards just outside the porch.
You don't have to
leading
go.
out from Mr. Kelly's residence.
Okay, and which numbers are these placards?
1 and 2.
Okay, and this accurately depicts the way y'all put these down, these numbers, in order to reflect this evidence, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Because
I'd like to enter into evidence defense 000 and N.
Can we go on the headset, Your Honor? Let's go on the headset. Let's crank the volume. See what we can find out here. Cover your delicate ears. Judge listening. All right, what's going on? He's removed his glasses. They look clean. Finger looking clean, or glasses looking clean. Judge rubbing his eyes a lot. He's got the sniffles, rubbing his eyes. I think he's got a cold.
Is it a good time to break, or do you want a couple? It's okay?
Good time to break? Break. Okay.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, we're going to break for the weekend. Have a great weekend. Remember the admonition of the court. We'll be back here Tuesday morning at 8:30 to continue with the examination of the witness. We're adjourned until 8:30. Have a good weekend.
Please rise for the court. It's only 5:45. Okay, we need to have a list of all the songs that have O in them. I know a great many things with O. None of them are songs, though. Okay. We're going to do the songs, just the songs. Oh, Judge got up and left. He's had enough as well. I guess we're going to turn down the spicy meter then if Judge wants to bail on us. Could be allergies. Yep, and we're done. Just like that. Just like that, it's magic. All right, the judge bounced. We are done for the day. So we have some fun stuff going on tonight. We have some fun stuff. Particularly one thing of interest, because right now, somewhere in a room with no windows, in a Florida high-rise office building, a bunch of attorneys are sitting around at the table, and they're looking at a very, very big number, and the number is going up. As they speak, it's going up. I like to think this is projected on the wall and that everyone gets to see it. Apparently, Mr. Howard Hunter doesn't get to see it, but Mr. Shapiro probably can. So project this on the wall and get to look at that all day long. That would just be amazing. Anyway, so tonight, why do I put this up? Tonight, Dr. Joe Courtroom has a live stream where he's going to be talking about Mediation Day, which is today. Is that the day you get to argue down how much you owe to the government? No, that's tax day, and you don't get to argue. You just have to pay. But in the J. Hatch case, the sides that have interest in this, both those that owe and those that are owed, had to come together under court order and mediate, talk to each other, have a little bit of maybe someone in the middle who sort of works out, see if there's some common ground somewhere where they can meet. I will tell you that if they do reach a conclusion, if they have a number that is copacetic for both parties or all the parties, we will never know what it is. Ideally, because I believe it'll be kept under seal and never released. Now, does that mean it will get leaked by somebody? Possibly, it could, but it shouldn't be, because that's in violation of the terms, and then it like opens up all the doors again. It's like undoing your agreement. So we are back here for the end of the day. I have more bathroom to work on, but I can finally start figuring out how to do drywall. If anyone's volunteering for drywall help, now is the time. Split the difference, 100 million? No, I think it's going to be higher. I can't see them doing any less than 150 million. Honestly. I mean, why would you? Really. All right. No non-disclosure of final terms, positive. I'm positive. The reason why they do that, Martha, is because the hospital, if they do decide to settle and say, look, we'll write out the check with all the zeros. We're going to write out the check with the zeros. The last thing the hospital wants is for other patients to, Amber, I need to plug in the phone. Hang on one second. And wait for it. The last thing the hospital wants is for other people who may have beef with the hospital to be like, you can get how much if you sue? How much? Okay, let's see. Amber, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Peachy, as a matter of fact. Peachy
Fantastic.
is the word for the day.
Peachy?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I usually use Ducky, so I'm Ducky and you're Peachy.
There we go.
I don't know what that means, but there we go.
I'm not sure if we should repeat it until we know what it means.
So I had a question about this case, and then it just kind of completely slipped my mind, and, ADD spicy brain. So I just wanted to make a disclaimer because I sent you something just before we went live.
You sent me some choice reading material. And I'm not talking about the kind that you sit on the porcelain throne and peruse a Reader's Digest. I'm talking the good stuff. The goods, we might say. Particularly, I think, let's see, what did you call it? You called it...
It's the tea. It's the tea.
It's the tea. It's all the tea.
It's the tea.
Out of New Mexico. New Mexico tea, which I think is made with cactuses.
Correct.
It says here, State's response, 4/12/24. It's a 13-page document.
Whoa.
Is that...
Whoa. Wait.
Okay.
I don't know if you actually want to read this on live, considering the language in some of the trial transcript stuff. And I don't think you've had a chance to look at it. However,
no, I was going in cold, just trusting me that my mod would not lead me down a path that I would not want to be on, Amber.
That's why I called you. See?
You called me live on the air to tell me, don't hang up yet. You've got this reading material. And then you said, by the way, don't read it. It's spicy.
Well, you are more than welcome to read it. It would be really entertaining for us all, I'm sure. However,
there's a big asterisk on this one. Big asterisk.
However, I actually sent you the PDF of the state's response that has the actual jail call transcripts in it. The original filing that the state is responding to, plus the response from defense on the state's response, is also on the link I sent you. But the spicy stuff is the one document specifically that I sent you. You can read through the actual filing, but the transcript pieces you may just want to scroll over.
I just scrolled to the top of the phone calls. Oh my goodness! I'm not sure if I can put this on the screen. I don't think there's anything.
I don't see why you couldn't put it on the screen, but I would just censor those words out as you go through.
You want me to read full speed into cursive words? Okay.
Right.
Let's do this. Let's see. Let me send this to camera 7 since we're done with Daybell right now, right? Yes, we are. Daybell's done. Thank you, Ashley, by the way. Appreciate that over there.
See, I wanted to preemptively call you because it kind of sounded like you might get to that before you ended stream, and then it kind of sounded like you wouldn't. So I wanted to make sure I disclaimered you.
I'll tell you this.
Appropriately.
It would be strange to follow Hannah Gutierrez read sentencing today and not read the jail calls because the judge referenced them. We talked about them. We heard about them.
Right.
Let's see. I'm trying to pull them up and it's not working.
Red pen, if he doesn't show it and just reads it, you're going to miss a lot of the context. So I'm not sure how he's going to, loophole this one.
Okay. Just so you know, guys, when the channel gets banned, it was Amber's idea. Okay, so I think it's only fair. Let's do this. It's 13 pages long. I've got it pulled up on the screen. Thank you, Amber. I have big disclaimer right here. I have not pre-read these. Okay, I've heard they're spicy, but if it gets too bad, we're just going to you'll know it gets too bad. Let's put it that way, because you'll just hear this music. I'll be like, all right, guys, be good to everybody. See you tomorrow. We're not going to do it right now.
You do really well at reading ahead as you're reading. So I don't think you'll slip and actually say the words. I think you'll actually skip them. So I think we're good.
Amber, your faith in me is admirable. I appreciate that.
I do.
Here's what we do. We've got it up on screen, so we're going to go through it. What time does Joe start? This is more important. I can't go over Joe.
You don't think you can do this in 6 minutes?
6 minutes? He starts in 6 minutes?
Is it 6 minutes? Hang on, let me double check. Hang on.
I portaled to him, but I don't know when he starts.
I just know
it's 6 p.m.
everybody's asking for them.
Okay, let's do this.
6 p.m.
Okay, let's do this. We don't have court today, which means we don't have video for tomorrow. This will be the great way to demonetize tomorrow's stream first thing in the morning. So let's put this on the schedule to go over the jail calls. And if you just cannot wait, Discord has it, right? Discord has it if you want to go over to Discord. But we're going to read these together. I'll read the state's entire
I have
response.
loaded them onto Discord.
Now, the response, they're responding to the motion. Basically, I think that's where the defense said, hey, we think it would be a great idea if she was just let out on good behavior and said, sorry, this is a bad situation you got caught up in. No harm, no foul. Hannah, enjoy life. That's basically the motion the state made, and this is the response, right?
No, the defense.
Yeah, the defense made, and this is the response by the state, saying, wait a minute, we have jail calls.
Correct.
Okay, sounds good. What time tomorrow?
I'm happy to send you the defense. I'm happy to send you the defense original filing plus their response to the state response if you want.
Yes, I want everything. Amber.
Okay, I will
send it over. My cloud is full. My Google Cloud is full, but send it over. I'll find a way to open it. All right.
Red pen, I don't know if I can redact this one.
I will.
I'm hanging up now.
Okay, thanks, Amber. Thanks for the call and thanks for the hot tip. Amber is one of our great mods, and also, Amber, I'm hanging up on you right now. Here we go. Amber's one of our great mods, and also one of the great mods over on As the Gavel Drops, the Discord page that is not my page, but closely associated with the channel, as we love. We've got this relationship. We're both interested in the same thing, which is true crime, and they came on early on the channel, found me and said, hey, we've got all this stuff that can help you. And I said, wow. And they just let us just mooch off all their work product. So big help. We love as the Gavel Drops on Discord. So thank you for that. All right. What time tomorrow? Probably earlier than this morning for sure, because my guests are gone. While it was live on the air, they took off. They're headed to Maine right now. So they're going to be good. We have 3 minutes before Dr. Joe comes on. We've portaled over to him. He's going to tell us the spicy details, at least any spicy details we may know or may be able to discern about Mediation Day today in J-Hatch. I cannot wait. I know for one thing that Howard Hunter is rumored to have not been there. And what can we read into that? That's going to be awesome. All right. That's all. Oops, I have to turn the volume up so you can hear it too. All right, I'm excited. It's drywall time for me. I'm not sure what you guys are going to do tonight, but I'm going to see if I can make some progress on the bathroom. Oh, no. I have to frame in a window. Yes, my bathroom had a window. Whose idea was that, really? I mean, it's like, hey, this is where you can do all your private stuff. Let's put a window to the world right there. At least it was frosted, but the window's got to go, so we're going to frame that in and then drywall over it. So, guys, tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again, which will be tomorrow morning, right around 8:30, maybe 8:45-ish, or thereabouts. You guys are amazing. This is the best place to watch true crime. It is because you guys are just absolutely wonderful, not just to me, but to each other. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jennifer, she was so fired up. Lots of spice today. Maybe more. State has not rested yet. So we're coming up on Tuesday morning. State is still in its case a week and a half after they said they were going to rest. You know what that says to me? It says to me that they're not confident in where the jury is at with the evidence they presented. They're literally just repeating themselves over and over, hoping to get some more traction. I think they're looking at that jury and thinking, I don't think we have them convinced. So, interesting. Julie Fraser, thank you very much. Kim R. gifted a membership in there as well. Thank you, Kim. Tracy Fagan, sounds like you're a hot mess. Fun and Funky is in there. Allie B. from Tennessee. Gigi, thank you as well. We had a few others. I'm sorry if I missed them. It won't let me scroll any further. That's all we got. I've already did the outro. Be good to each other. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and then we'll see you in moments over at Dr. G's. Dr. Joe's. There we go. Now I can talk. We'll see you at Dr. Joe's. Bye.